What up, what up, what up, world? It's your man Quinton back on the Mic Check podcast, doing a solo video, something wanted to really get into the historic weekend that we have upon us this coming February 4th, Saturday, live from the Hulu Theater, Madison Square Garden. Some history can be made, or at least will be made, as long as we don't have any draws this weekend, as two more women will etch their name in stone as undisputed champions in the four belt era. Now, given some context in history, there's a lot of reasons to love women's boxing. One of the main reasons to love it, though, is that more often than not, we see the best fighting the best. And whether that's because there's a lack of depth at the top of their divisions, respectively, or whether there's just a sheer number of forward to, and it's going to be an awesome experience getting to see two more women try to be two more of the four belt era undisputed titleists. Amanda Serrano is going to be fighting Erica Cruz, who is the WBA champion currently. And then Alycia Baumgardner is going to be fighting for the vacant WBA belt against Elem Mehaled, who is a quality known fighter around 130 to 135. She's been at multiple weights. She's competed at a high level, who hails from France. Both of those fights, definitely Amanda and Alycia go into those fights as favorites. However, not to be slept on is that both of these matchups are against quality opponents. Erica Cruz is a volume puncher. If you know anything about fighters from Mexico City, which Erica Cruz is from Mexico City, they have great gas tanks. They're usually volume punchers, and she is true to type. She has a Mexican style, great body attack, and she's relentless in her approach. Elem Mehaled is the classic European skillful fighter, right? Fights behind the jab, uses movement, uses head movement, and solid skill set and defense to work. So neither of those fights are going to be easy wins for Alycia or for Amanda. But really what I wanted to talk about in this video really was just what this means moving forward if these two fighters are able to win their upcoming fights. Now, anybody that knows these two fighters knows that they're both fighting with Matchroom. Alycia has been ago as they're trying to lead into the Katie Taylor fight that hopefully can happen this summer in Ireland. But if Amanda is able to win her fight, the obvious next fight is going to be a fight against Katie Taylor, the rematch, right? An awesome fight that we got to see last in Madison Square Garden, where she'll be fighting this weekend. And it was one of the best fights, arguably, I would say, fight of the year for 2022. It'll be another great matchup, but this time Amanda's going to have to take her bags and go on the road and try to see if she can return the favor to Katie, as Katie beat her here in America. She's going to have to see if she can try to return the favor by beating Katie, more than likely in what looks like will be a fight in Ireland. No date or venue has been confirmed for that yet, but that's a great fight to look forward to sometime this summer, because I do not believe that there has been an undisputed or even a major title fight in Ireland for some time, especially not in the women's game. For Alycia, it's a little bit of a gray area, right? Because if she wins this fight, she becomes the undisputed champion at super featherweight, 130 pounds. And she has a number of options. She can defend her titles at 130 for a few more fights. She can look to move up and fight the winner of Amanda Serrano versus Katie Taylor at lightweight late in 2023 at the end of this year, if that fight happens in a timely fashion. Or she can even see about possibly, if she's willing to, moving up to 140 pounds, 2 divisions up, and fighting Chantel Cameron, who actually, and ironically, is the last undisputed woman to etch her name in stone, which she was able to become undisputed this past winter in late 2022 when she handily, and I mean handily, beat Jessica McCaskill in a fight that really was not close to me. I had it 8-2, but she showed everything that she needed to show to me to prove that she is certainly in the top 5 pound for pound fighters amongst women boxers. So there's a lot of ways that Alycia can go moving forward, and I think it'll be interesting for everybody to see, what does Eddie Hearn have planned for her? Does he want her to stay at 130 and then possibly fight some challengers that may become mandatories there? Does he want to move her up to 135 and possibly, or does he want to move her up to 140 if she's willing to go that high? The one thing that's a little bit difficult going to be for Alycia is that Alycia is already at a size disadvantage from a height and length standpoint against a lot of 130-pound girls. It would be really difficult for her probably to fight at 140 and be as effective as she's been at 130. Alycia is a power puncher. She's a great boxer. She has a great jab, and she has good movement. For somebody that's usually a bit undersized at that weight. It makes me wonder, would she be willing to go down to 126 and try to become a double undisputed fighter against Amanda Serrano? Instead of fighting her at 135, maybe she fights for Amanda's belt at 126. That's also a possibility because she is on the smaller side of the spectrum. So there's a lot of options for Alycia as well as for Amanda moving forward if they're able to win this fight that's coming up this weekend. First time I believe that there's going to be a co-main and main event headline, all women's fights at Madison Square Garden. I can't recall any other time. The previous time that Katie Taylor fought Amanda Serrano at Madison Square Garden, Liam Smith was the co-main event against Jesse Vargas. So there has not been a co-main and main event headline Madison Square Garden in boxing history that I can recall. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. You can drop that down in the comments if you are able to find that out. Just a couple of other notes, just moving forward with women's boxing. I really want to give a shout out to Matchroom specifically, because they really, as far as the American game, have been sort of the pioneers of this. Now, obviously, there's been other fighters that have been in the game that have fought for a long time previously in America or based out of America, whether you're talking about back on HBO with Cecilia Brækhus, whether you're talking about Showtime and what they were able to do with Claressa Shields before she decided to take her talents to the UK. But I think Matchroom is really doing something different now when it comes to grassroots boxing, right? Bringing girls from the contender status into title contention, into world title challengers, world champions, and then making them undisputed champions when we talk about the U.S. women's game as a whole. It's starting to catch on with a lot of other fighters. Senicia Estrada is a great fighter who moved from Golden Boy, and now she's with Top Rank, and she's going to be trying to become undisputed down in her weight division. I believe now she's still at 105. So a lot of great things to look forward to with women's boxing. One of the reasons I love women's boxing even more so than the men's game is that all these ladies are willing to get in the ring with whoever they have to get in the ring with that is a champion, that's going to create the biggest fights for the most money. Politics typically does not come in between it. You've seen fights between Savannah Marshall, who was with Boxer, and Claressa Shields, who was a free agent at the time. You've seen fights between Michaela Mayer and Alycia Baumgardner when Michaela Mayer is with Top Rank and Alycia Baumgardner is with Matchroom. So that just goes to show you that these women today are willing to sacrifice what they have to do to get into the ring. So it's certainly something to look forward to. And I'm really excited to see how Amanda and Alycia do. As always, make sure that you subscribe, like button, hit that like button, and share this video if you're interested in hearing more on my perspective, as well as T's perspective on women's boxing. We're definitely going to be trying to get into that topic more and more as we move forward. And I certainly think that we're going to be doing a review of how this weekend's fights turns out